we've had to become innovative because it's forced innovation. You know, we're trying to keep the doors open and keep the lights on.
The Modern Eater has traveled the roads of Colorado for years, bringing you the stories of the men and women who produce and serve our food.
Happy people make happy food that make happy customers.
From the peach trees in Palisade to the chili farms in Pueblo, the Modern Eater plows through the Rockies to expose the rising costs of food production and the ripple effect of inflation. Supply chain issues, labor shortages, and dwindling profit margins are plaguing small businesses everywhere. 3 weeks and 1,500 miles on the road, you get inside access to what Coloradans are doing to stay afloat in order to deliver healthy food and tasty beverages to you and your family. This is the 5th annual The Modern Eater Road Trip. Buckle up, let's go.
Wow, this is awesome.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Welcome to beautiful Palisade, Colorado on a Saturday. Here it is, the Modern Eater. We're out on the road for our 5th annual road trip. This is our 3rd stop of the day, and it's a good one. As you saw right there, it's Clark & Co.'s Distilling, and the theme for this year's road trip is inflation and the rising costs of producing food. You're seeing it as the end user, how much things cost to buy, especially to eat. This business was born out of necessity, and I want to introduce to you Chris and Mackenzie. How are you guys doing?
Good.
And of course, Chef Jeff Jabot and James Doxson along with us as well. You know, just following that thought process of inflation and how can businesses jockey for market position and being able to have different revenue streams, everybody's heard of the number ones that go to market. They're beautiful fruits. Number twos are not so good and it's probably going to go away. But taking those number twos and making a business out of it is really what this is all about, isn't it?
Yeah, we're always looking for ways to implement more agritourism on our operation, as well as get everything out of the farm that we can. So this was the perfect mixture of the two to come up with a product with a value-added process to take those peaches and pears that we are throwing on the ground and to distill them into a product. So you get a double whammy. You get the agritourism with craft distilling. Yeah. And you get to use your full crop and get every drop out of the farm that you can.
Perfect. So. Mackenzie, and as a mother, right? I mean, you love all your children the same. But let's face it, between a little secret between, you have favorites, right? But you don't want to just throw the non-favorites away. You got to utilize them and do something with them. And that's kind of the way that it is with growing. You guys have been producers for a while there. Yes. All fruit is created equally, right?
Yeah, she's 6th generation.
6th generation?
Yep. So,
wow.
Yep. So our boys are the 7th generation, and then my grandpa Larry was the 5th generation, and it was kind of his idea years back, and always talked about to take the fruit that would usually be tossed on the ground and distill it and make fruit brandy with it, and it just never really happened. But yeah, with rising costs and everything,
some
we figured
brandy in the basement.
Yes, yeah, it was always that.
But a lot of times, and chefs, you'll attest to this, it's you know, with the less desirable produce, you're going to can it, you're going to jar it, you're going to do pickle it, you're going to do other things with it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is what they're doing with it. Can we take a look?
Let's go.
All right, there's 3 things in here that I really want to take a look at. Okay. And by the way, and Chef James, you mentioned this, but you guys have a grand opening coming soon, right?
We do.
Talk about it.
Yep.
Soft opening is the next couple days, and then grand opening Saturday the 9th and Sunday the 10th, and then be open from there on out.
That's exciting.
Yes.
A lot going on right here. How would you just take, you know, Chris, take 30 seconds and say, here's what we're doing in here, and there's also an event venue attached to it as well, right?
Sure. Yep. So the event venue kind of specializes in weddings right across the way. There's corporate parties, all sorts of things, all sorts of events over there. We built this facility on the same parcel. It's a 10-acre parcel just on the other side of it. So this is the distillery. We're standing in the tasting room right now. We've got a commercial kitchen in the back where we're going to serve limited food out of. And then back behind the wall here, we have our distilling side where we distill everything.
First of all, beautiful. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
I love to be able to look in there and see where the product's built. Oh, hey, look, it's Joe Talbot. Good to see you. Just at the bar. Never seen you at one of those. This bar is cool too. The kitchen. What are you gonna be doing in the kitchen?
We're trying to keep it a somewhat limited menu, but we're trying to get like high quality local burgers, and then chicken sandwiches as well as flatbreads. And
here, I can prove the flatbread right there. Look. That is gonna be the delicious food. It's gonna be here. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. We're gonna be over to Talbot's here soon. Let's show outside here, and then let's go in and talk to Tyler in the distillery.
Okay.
Look at this. So, are you gonna charge for views?
Yeah.
You could.
Pro bono on the views.
Yeah. The views are free.
Yeah, we'll get a royalty for the minute
Look
spent.
at this. Now, describe what this property, this plot of land right here, looked like before this was here. There's nothing.
We had tomatoes here, yeah.
Did you
Before,
really?
yep, right down the driveway. That was a tomato patch for a few years.
So this was a growing
We farmed
block.
it on and off. Yeah.
Yeah, this block was always, it's kind of rocky and doesn't grow, right? So that's kind of why we chose this area to do the distillery, because we've always had a hard time getting stuff to grow on this plot of land, so it was kind of reusing it for another purpose that
a lot
would
of
work
it
better.
We got a high water table here.
Well, let's grow a business.
Yes.
What a great use of land. And again, you know, no stone unturned. This place is beautiful, right? Chef Jeff, you love distilleries.
I love them, yeah. I'm actually looking around going, where would I put a smoker?
And we're finishing up
We've
a
talked
few
about
things
it.
out here, but we're gonna have 3 fire pits out in that field area, so people can hang out. These chairs will be around the fire pits down there, and then
Will
some
you be able to float
cornhole and
up?
yard games, and then yes, people floating down the river or paddleboarding can come up
off.
and
Fun.
come up and drink and eat. Yeah.
Yep.
Great spot to take wedding photos and stuff too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
It's like the one-stop shop. All right, let's go in and talk to Tyler, but give us the setup. Let's tee him up to talk about what kind of ingredients is he using to be able to make distillates right now.
Yes. So we have peaches, cherries, and apricots in season right now. So we've been running a bunch of peaches and cherries the past couple weeks. And Tyler is actually working on, we froze some pears last year to prepare for our grand opening this year. So we ran pears last week, and he's actually distilling pear brandy right now.
Mackenzie, hand him that microphone. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, I'm Tyler Blackwelder, distiller.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
What a cool project.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yes.
Anything goes wrong, it's on you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the old guy that was here before, you know, I can't find anything, we need to buy parts. This is brand spanking new.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pleasure to work with.
Yep.
Talk about your methodology behind distillates and what you want to distill and what you use, because just like any great chefs, you're utilizing the ingredients that you have, and then you source a few more and you start building off of that. But distillates are a process.
Sure.
They go through the, you know, from the beginning of what can we produce now and maybe bring to market, to what do we have to mature and age a bit, to, you know, the things that are down the road, other projects.
Sure. I mean, ideally we'd have 3 years to prep and distill and get things ready to go. That's not really how it works unless you've got, you know,
Buku bucks.
yeah, unless you're playing with Monopoly money. But so to start, yeah, the goal is to find some great ingredients. Working right here in the orchard, we get fresh fruit that we get to play with, and you know, brandy. I can't talk enough about, you know, good quality brandy, peaches, pears, apricots.
But that was kind of like the hooch of the elders, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's what folks were drinking around here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you know, the long term, we'd love to age some, you know, 6, 10, 12 years.
Which you will.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. But right now we're just going to have fun with some of those younger brandies. We'll put some in barrels. And the long-term goal is even to get it neutralized to make a vodka out of just fruit.
Nice.
Which finding that is a rarity.
Yeah, and that rig that you have, that's separating a lot of good stuff in there. Talk about what your system is right here.
Yeah, so that's it's a smaller 2-column setup, but what it does, I can get up to neutral strength, or at least vodka strength, which is above 190 proof, in just 2 runs.
Wow.
Which is lovely. Takes a little while. I'm still trying to work out some of the kinks in a new system. Any new system is going to have kinks. It's new equipment, stuff I'm not used to using, so everything's taken just a wee bit longer. But that's part of it. But we'll make it worth, you know, that juice worth the squeeze.
Yeah, no doubt.
What else are you making? Are you doing moonshines or?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, whiskey, it starts clear. You know,
Yeah,
I know it should be obvious, but a lot of people don't know that. And you know, they think the bourbon comes straight out of the still, brown, but no, it comes out clear and it gets its color from those barrels. But so we're gonna do a white whiskey too, just a corn whiskey, and taking that white whiskey and then flavoring it with. I know for the strawberry moonshine that we've bottled, I mean, just for a tiny, I think it was like a 30-gallon batch. I think it was 20 pounds of strawberries.
Wow. Look what Chris hunted down. You were actually...
Yeah, I gotta brag on his...
Yeah, this is the gin.
I love the color of that.
Yes,
so
one of a kind right here.
Cool cocktail.
So, butterfly pea flower gin. Butterfly pea flower has not always been on the Gross list, which is generally recognized as safe to use in liquid spirits. Some of those old... Prohibition era laws have still carried over, where some ingredients you just can't use. In my distilling experience before, there's been plenty of botanicals that people consume on a daily basis, but for some reason you can't use them in spirits. A lot of botanical teas, you know,
They just don't hold up?
No, they've never been tested for safety in. I mean, they'll sell them over the counter in an herbal tea.
So bureaucracy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
This is one, butterfly pea flower. There was an FDA submission in September and was approved in October, which makes it now acceptable to use in a spirit product. So
Yeah.
awesome.
Here's where I love the geekiness of what you do, because there's many routes that you can go down. You can start to, I mean, look at Distillery 291, who's forced staving, smaller barrels, bringing stuff to market a lot sooner, and winning awards across the world, globally, on a method where you get these old school dudes like, you got to pay your dues, you got to sit around for 3-4 years, you got to, cool, right? So you can choose either way of that. And then also, like the Block Distilling in downtown Denver. They just started out and waited and did what they could and just chiseled away, and then now they're you know, their brown spirits are to fruition.
Yeah.
What direction do you figure you're going to go with some of the things that you're going to do?
You know, one of the things too is there's plenty of locals other than the Clark's Orchard too that are making amazing fruit. There's plenty of grain growers here too that we can take advantage of. I grew up on a farm. And that's where the wheat we're going to use for some of the bourbon is coming from.
Killer.
Which is awesome.
I love it.
And so, you know, getting some local grain, our corn comes from, you know, a few miles up the road.
Yeah, then Western Colorado. I mean, Eastern Colorado. Eastern Colorado.
We're in Western right now.
Which is awesome to be able to do, because I want that taste or that terroir of your region in your bottle.
And people, you know, you could take the exact same equipment with the exact same recipe, and you'd have 2 different tastes based on whether you were sitting in Louisville, Kentucky,
I love that,
or Palisade, Colorado. And that's why, I mean, I'm a pretty open book too when it comes to any recipes, because I mean, there's no reason to hide anything, because you could give this exact setup to somebody in you know, in Denver, or even you know, Dallas or Florida, and the spirit would taste different because the way people mash, the way they ferment, the temperatures, the humidity. The barometric pressure is going to change the way that still runs. It's going to change the way that those barrels age. That spirit works itself into those barrels at different rates on temperature, humidity, and nerd. So
you guys are in for a treat. Honestly, we'll check back, you know, this is what's so fun about distilleries. In about a year, you'll see a few barrels lined up. Then, you know,
Then they're building a barrel room.
and then they're running out of room, and they're trying. And that's the exciting stuff. But you don't even have a bunghole we can sniff right now, do you?
Sure.
Oh, you do?
Sure.
Let's sniff a bunghole. Why not? What do you got going on here?
So it's a rubber one, but it still holds some of that bourbon flavor.
Yes, sir.
So we found a distillery back east since we weren't able to, you know, age a barrel 3 years on our own. We elected to source some bourbon to start so we could have something for the tasting room and something, you know, something fun to work with. Bourbon barrels are going to be some of the base that we age our brandy in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, yes, that's what you want to do. You'll look for those brandy barrels.
Yeah, the standard is, you know, one of the standards is using old wine barrels. But, I mean, why? Bourbon's way bigger in this country than brandy. So, I mean, why not mix it up?
It's wide open for you. I am so excited for you guys. That's the type of stuff that gets me goosebumps because it's got all the ingredients. That's a small business. It has local people that get together that are passionate about their products to produce something for everybody around to enjoy. So this will come, you know, hopefully it'll make it to the Front Range where we are. But if not, come on out and see it. This is why you built it, right?
Yeah.
You built it, they will come.
And if you haven't seen that river view, then
we just saw it.
Yeah, it's not just the name of the vodka. So
So what do the bottles look like? That's what I'm curious. Because when you go to a store,
he wants his labels.
Sure. Yeah, we need we need labels. Our labels are a little bit behind. You know,
She's
COVID
been
and all
working
that.
with TTB for like months and months and months trying to get through this
our
bureaucracy.
moonshine bottles are one of a kind right there. Pretty recognizable as like a standard moonshine bottle. They'll come in strawberry. There you go. See, got it. Here's the white dog right here.
Slang some bottles before.
Oh yeah.
The white whiskey will come in one of those as well.
Nice.
very nice.
This one, the white dog, is named after my uncle Cecil. He spent time in federal prison for bootlegging.
Who didn't? Cecil did. Listen, it was so fun to catch up with you guys. This was a must-do on our list. It's Clark & Co.'s Distilling. Look it up online. They already have the Facebook. And the Instagram? Do you have your Instagram done? Instagram's done too. Again, family business. This is where you want to go. This weekend they're having a soft opening. You can't come to that one, but you can come to the grand opening. Mackenzie, take us out of this thing and tell us when they can come and what we're going to see when you open the doors.
Okay. Yeah, and the website will be up next week as well, so they can always go to the website and see all the spirits and everything. But the grand opening is next weekend, July 9th and 10th, Saturday and Sunday. Yep, and we'll have all the back patio ready, an area out by the river to hang out and hang out by the river and have some food and drinks. Yep.
Peanut butter bourbon, honey bourbon, 5 different moonshines, gin, vodka. We'll have a good variety of alcohol to come and have a good time with.
Yes.
I was always told there's no better way to be ready than a deadline, and they've got that deadline. They'll be ready for you. Come one, come all, but come on over here. It's Clark & Co.'s Distilling, Palisade, Colorado. Thanks for letting us catch up with you guys.
Thank you.
This is awesome. We're going to kick that rock on down the road.